I want, and I want you guys there. If my Knicks aren't there, I want that wine and gold there. You know that.
Hey, I appreciate that, man. You know, it's interesting you mentioned that because I'm going to talk about it in a little bit. Interesting you mentioned the staying injury prone because Glen Taylor's not sure if he can. Vashawn in the chat room says, "Don't worry, your Knicks can still get him next year when he'll be a free agent." So hey, that we never know where that could go. Big Bob, my man.
Absolutely.
I appreciate the call, man. I got to go.
Okay, love you guys. Have a good day.
You too, my man. All right, going right back to the phone lines, and as I get ready to switch back to another caller, looking at last night's game, something else I noticed too, if you guys take a look at the standings, not just in the division, but in the wild card too, and I continue, and I saw Don on Facebook today, he was kind of saying the same thing, man, the road to the playoffs for this team is the division and not the wild card, I'm telling you. But anyways, sometimes, we talked yesterday about how they keep missing opportunities to gain ground because when they win, the teams above them have been winning. As a matter of fact, as I go back and pull up the standings here, the few teams above them have kind of matched the Indians as they've warmed up here. Like, you look at the Indians have won 3, Detroit's won 3, Seattle's won a game here. But you look at what the Indians have been able to do, especially in the wild card. We talked about not controlling your own destiny, is there was so many teams grouped up. But maybe this is just good fortune for the Indians. But as they've won 3 in a row and as they've won 10 of 14, you look at the 4 teams below them in the wild card, they have gained a ton of room. Just in the last 3 games here, they've picked up ground on everybody below them because in the last, look at this, Toronto's lost 3, Tampa Bay's lost 2, Chicago's now lost 7, and the Twins have lost 3. All of those teams have lost 2 and 3 games just in the last few days to the Indians, giving at least some space from there. So now you've begun to separate yourself from the teams below you, and now your focus is squarely on the Yankees, Detroit, and Seattle. Those 3 teams there. Indians sit 4.5 games back. Matter of fact, I think that's the closest they may have been in at least the last couple of weeks. They kept bobbing right around that 5 games back, somewhere in there. But anyways, we'll keep going with that. But I just noticed that in the standings. I looked, I said, oh, wow. I said, they have just in the last few days gained a good deal of separation there from those other teams because that just gets them out of the way. The more teams in the way, the more things that can go wrong, the more things that are out of your control. I'm going back to the phone lines because that's in my control. And now the show is in your control. Caller, you're on the air.
Good morning, J-Rock.
Good morning, Bruce. Happy birthday, Bruce. Happy birthday to Bruce. Happy birthday, man.
Oh, thank you, sir.
You got it.
First thing I want to say is, don't they teach you to bunt?
Hey, man, I'm with you. But you know what? Why ask that man to bunt? Why even bother asking that man bunt anymore? Don't ask him to do anything. Just go up there and swing, man. Just go.
My first thought was, oh, my God, he can't even lay a bunt down.
You're right, though. I'm thinking, man, do not let this game, because it had the feeling of one of those games that if you didn't get it over, then it drags on, and then you lose in some stupid way, and you look back and you go, oh, man, they should have never, you know what I mean? And then you can't get, and because look, the last couple of those games against over the weekend where they couldn't get the runner over, they got caught in the rundown, they blew themselves up in the 8th inning of both of those games on Friday and Saturday. You right. Go, man, tell me this isn't going to happen again. And then he says, you know what? That's cool. I can't bunt, but I can do this. I can do this, and then bam, there you go.
Well, that whole game was kind of strange because I thought, this is, money in the bank right here. We got a 3-run lead, House on the mound. He's been pitching good. I thought he was just going to cruise through the night.
Yeah, he was looking good.
And he had a bad night. And then one night that our pitching doesn't hold up, the bats come to life for a change. I think we scored, 8 runs last night? That's as many runs as we scored in the last 4 games.
Yep.
So, it's like, some nights, you eat the bear, some night the bear eats you. But, that was just one of those nights where, you were counting on the pitching and the bats came to life.
Absolutely. And that's the way it's going to have to be for the rest of the way. Everybody's got to pick each other up here. And that's how you've won 10 of 14. That's how you've kept yourself moving here. And that's the only way you're going to be able to accomplish what you want to do. Zach Walters, by the way, I've got the number. His home run was number 6 in 48 at-bats with the Indians. That is... What is that? 1 in every 8 at-bats. So like every other game, he's coming up and hitting a home run in the limited amount of time with the Indians. And if you look at his numbers in general this season, he's got 9 home runs in 87 at-bats when you combine Washington and Cleveland. So he's averaging a home run every 9.6 at-bats this season, man. It's amazing.
And they all been meaningful.
They've all been meaningful,
either
Bruce.
Put us ahead or
I was just about
game.
to say, of his 6 home runs, 4 gave the Indians the lead at the time that he hit them, and the other 2 tied the game at the time that he hit them. So they all 6 of them were meaningful. And as you said, other guys jumping in last night. Carlos Santana, it was good to see because, I mean, literally moments before, on television, I was watching the TV feed last night, and they had just got done mentioning that he's slumping again here down in the back part of the season. I think he's in like 197 or something like that in the last few weeks. But you get to see him come through with the double. Aviles, Walters, they all had RBIs early. Brantley, of course, as usual, comes through again.
Chisenhall came in as the pinch hitter in the 10th.
Perez, yeah, well, absolutely. And Chisenhall got himself set the table for Walters to miss the bunt. To miss the bunt.
Was moving to third and
hit the home run. Terry Francona said, listen, all I asked him to do was get the guy to third. I don't care.
Right, he was bunting on his own, actually.
He wants to bunt it. That's cool. Guess what? He touched third on his way home on the home run, so that'll be good enough for me, and there you go. So,
I mean, you got to take your hat off to Francona. I mean, he's working with, smoke and mirrors,
Oh, we've talked about that.
And he doesn't even have Giambi to bail him out.
I agree. And people have said, oh, well, because I've had some really hardcore anti-Francona guys make the opposite argument with me. Go, man, he's made more mistakes this season. And I'm like, you know what? I will give you that he's made mistakes. There's been a few times that even I've questioned him. But the more pitches you see, I guess, the more you swing at, he's had more problems to deal with this season than last season times 3. So, yeah, you're going to make a few more mistakes because you're seeing a whole lot more pitches your way. Does that make sense the way I'm explaining it?
It makes perfect sense because if you think about it, we had Ubaldo and we had Masterson. We had a couple established pitchers. And then
absolutely, even Kazmir was a veteran as far as not being a young pitcher that had never done this before. He had veteran experience too.
And then the lineup was pretty much a set lineup every day. And this year it's been completely AAA at times. Or
we know it, Bruce. Yeah, with the pitching.
Yeah, you have Santana starting at third. He's a reformed catcher starting at third. Now he's playing first.
Yep. Zach Walters has 17 positions. We don't know everybody. We've got we are aiming to be the first team in Major League Baseball to play 9 utility players at the same time. I was going to say. I'm telling you, man.
We have to lead the league in utility players.
I'm telling you, I think that's the goal. I think secretly that's like the holy grail for a Moneyball type of general manager is, can I create a team that every player can play every position, and then we could just mix and match them all night long, because that's practically what the Indians are, man.
Which makes sense, because didn't Rayburn pitch a game last year? So
there you go. You never know, man. But
even our outfielders can pitch.
And I'm not trying to be the big eyes guy here, but this is now what I was talking about yesterday. You go into tonight's game with Kluber going at it tonight. That's your ace. I'm not saying that it's a guaranteed victory, but he's as close as you've got to it. You take care of business tonight. I mean, the stage is set for the Indians to sweep this series, and you have to look at things that way when you're down to your final 30 games. And it's set for them, because if Kluber wins this game tonight, goes out and takes care of business, Danks, as we've seen, he's very happy to give us some good offensive explosions for the Indians bats. And Carrasco has really been cooking the last couple of times around here now, really starting to, well, at least give you that false confidence that he's turning into what you hoped he would be. You still don't know if it's going to last, but I think the Indians have every reason to believe that they can take all 3 games of this series now. They still have to go out and do it, but there's no reason not to.
Oh, exactly. And, we've watched enough baseball over the years to know that, that nothing is guaranteed, but,
no,
you take what you can get at the time you're getting it. And right now, with Carrasco, I'm taking everything that, the guy can give us. I expect him to have a bad night sooner or later, but, if it doesn't happen, I'm for it. And if it does, hey, he's not going to be, an ace every time he goes out there.
Absolutely. And you can't expect that, But even that, I'll take his bad outing. I mean, for us to say that, I mean, still, that's a good outing for a lot of pitchers the last time that he was out there, That's hey, I had a good night. Corey Kluber's like, man, that was the worst night I've had in the second half. Some other guys are like, man, I'll take that,
Yeah,
what
Kluber,
do you give up, 3 runs,
in the
4
interview
runs
after the game said, I don't even know where that came from, I didn't expect that at all.
So, I'm with you, Bruce.
Yeah.
I'm with you. I'm excited.
He
Kluber's
said
going to bounce
his
back
pitches
tonight.
were, where he always throws them, he just, they were just happened to be hitting them,
Yep.
So some nights, you just don't, you feel good and you just don't have it,
That's right.
Other nights you don't feel like, you have anything and, you can be perfect.
I'm with it, Bruce. That's what happens when you're a team of destiny. You drive your fans crazy because you win them, you lose them in all kinds of crazy ways, and at the end of the story, you go, wow, how did we get here? I'm telling you, the Indians have morphed into a team of destiny in my mind. They're just...
We went 4 games over 500 for the first time this year.
4 games over 500. We are cooking now, man.
I know.
I mean... Next thing, it's all up. I'm telling you, it's all upwards and onwards from here. I'm having some fun.
I was going to say, it's all uphill from here.
Let's roll, baby. Let's roll. No, but
we got
seriously,
over the hump.
I'm with it, man. They're still here. I mean, there's plenty of room on the bandwagon. In the next couple of weeks, we're going to need it because I sense a lot of people are going to jump back on. I'm having some fun. Tomorrow, Mike Brandenberry will come back on. He'll put me in my place, and he'll explain to me why I'm ridiculous. But I don't care. I'm feeling good, man. When you blow the bunt in extra innings, and then you hit the ball out of the park, that's when you start to go, something's happening here. And let me just throw this out here. You notice who's hitting and playing? He didn't actually hit the ball, but you notice who's playing down at AAA? Who's starting to get loose again? Old, creaky Jason Giambi. All I'm saying is that September walk-off is coming. That September walk-off from Giambi. They know it. They said, you know what? September's coming. Go get Giambi warmed up, man. We got to start getting him ready to play here. So mark my words. Jason Giambi hits 1 home run before this season is over, and it's going to mean something.
1 walk-off before that.
I feel it, man. I'm feeling it, man. Bruce, anything else, my man?
A couple more shout-outs on birthdays. Jim Thome, Buddy Bell, and the First Lady of Cleveland, LeBron's wife, is her birthday's today.
She is not the First Lady of Cleveland. Maybe acting.
I'm
not, anyways. But I'm with you. I did not know. That's why the Thome thing. I just thought he was your favorite player. I never realized you guys had the same birthday. There you go. I didn't even know that.
Me, Buddy Bell, and Jim Thome.
That's good company, Bruce. That's good company to keep.
Oh, definitely.
All right, my man. Enjoy your birthday. Enjoy the rest of the show. Enjoy Corey Kluber tonight, my man.
Oh, yeah. Go Tribe.
You got it. Bruce, great call, my man.
All right.
All right, thank you very much, guys. I'm going to hit the break here. Man, the Indians will make you crazy. That Gnarls Barkley in the background, but that's the fun of it. I'm feeling good, man. Hopefully you are too. Let's keep this thing going. We've got a ton to talk about. We are already that deep into the show. All right, cool. We're going to move on with my man John McMullen from the Sports Network next. We're going to switch gears. We'll go to him. We'll talk some NFL and some Browns and all of the latest going on in the world of football as we're wrapping up the preseason. Teams are making cuts. Things things are going down. Let's talk to him. Actually, matter of fact, it's kind of a good week to have John join us in the middle of the week, because yesterday Browns picked up a couple of guys off of waivers from the Eagles. I'll ask John about those guys here. We'll talk about all of that, some football talk. Still going to talk about the Cavs picking up KLove, latest from his. I liked his press conference. We'll talk about that. He's going at it with the owner of the Wolves, Dan Wismar. We're talking Tribe and Browns and Buckeyes and Navy and all kinds of stuff with him. Don't go anywhere. The Sports Fix, baby. It's just now getting cooking. We are on the air. Come on back with us. John McMullen from the Sports Network.